Hi, this is Jerry Cleveland from the Police Society for Problem-Based Learning. Today I'm going to talk to you about speaking to people, a first responder's guide to interviewing. And the first type of interviewing is interviewing on the street. When you're out talking, if you're in uniform or if you're a detective gathering information or you're a fire captain, whatever your job as a first responder. Most important thing is to be yourself. You're in a uniform or a suit, so watch that you do not come across as stiff or formal and unapproachable. Watch your posture. And be selective with any kind of assertive or aggressive movements or language. Use the person's name, not their title, and speak honestly and openly. Resist isolating yourself. Take off your mirrored sunglasses and uncross your arms and keep any kind of angry expression off your face. And make sure you use, importantly, open-ended sentences during street interviews. Rehearse the sentences. For example, John, do you live in the neighborhood? Requires a simple yes or no answer. However, if you say, John, what's the neighborhood like to live or work in? You're much more likely to receive comprehensive information. Finally, watch your P's and Q's. No slang, no police talk or fireman talk or EMT talk. And when you are calling in information about somebody, make sure that you don't use racial or physical descriptors when you're doing so. And be careful who can hear you giving personal information on your radio. The next kind of communication is crisis communication. And with that, there's 4 things to do. Stay calm. Don't let your emotions color your language when you're speaking to those interviewees. Speak professionally and speak clearly. Be careful about yelling at persons with a mental illness. If a person's diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, make sure that you don't make the situation worse for everyone. Understand the illness, understand the best response method. And then finally, in those crises, state clearly what you want and how you want it to happen. Keep your voice neutral, and your gestures should encourage compliance. Open hands, mild directional indicators, and soft tones where possible. Just because there's a crisis doesn't mean you have to yell, shout, and become aggressive. Finally, on page 72 to 73 of Swift Pursuit, our book for federal law enforcement officers, we talk about how to do formal interviews. There's a couple of things that you need to know. One, that lies are important as the truth. If your interviewee wants to lie, do not interrupt and demand the truth. When you get to court, the lies they tell will mean as much to the jury as any truth they will share with you. Don't embellish and clean up the language. Record the responses verbatim. Remember, to be evidentiary, they should be as close to possible to what the interviewee said without any added editing of their answers by you. Next, be honest. Also avoid witness taint. Keep witnesses apart so that they don't share stories and compare notes. Be sure to verify reading ability with your interviewees. If you're asking someone to comment on a document and they look at it and you find out later they can't read, it will be quite embarrassing for you. And finally, let people spill. Ask open-ended questions and then wait. Be comfortable with long pauses. People will spill to fill the silence in formal interviews. Let them talk. There should be no rush when you're taking witness or accused statements. Most of all, trust yourself. Develop your own style and put yourself in the position of the interviewee and answer the question, how would I want someone to speak to me? If you do so, you're going to get useful, legally admissible, and informative statements from your interviewees. Thank you.